Hi, y'all. So, this is my new podcast. Basically, I am coming out with a single on Valentine's Day, and obviously, I have to promote it, right? But my brother passed away during the holidays, so I haven't been, I guess, in the mood to record the type of content that I was going to. Those like trendy reels. I'm not in that headspace. So right now, I am just going to talk about art and grief and how things have been going. Things have been, I guess, a consistent sadness, I guess you could say. Um, Obviously, I am sad, but I am still well, I mean, I have some juice to create, to work on my performances. I have performances all of February, and my single Peaches is coming out February 14th. That's about like honoring yourself and cutting people off who don't really see you and who just want to extract from you. But yeah, that's not going to be the focus on the podcast of the podcast. Um, I think talking has been a great help for me. I talk to my brother a lot. I I use the tarot and I ask him questions, and I feel like he does respond respond back to me, like through different signs. I've been thinking a lot about purpose, and I used to think that my purpose was to create. Um, I've been singing since I was a kid. I've been performing for the last no performing professionally for the past maybe like 6 years as a singer and a burlesque performer. But I life has a different meaning to me now. I've been asking a lot of questions like, what does this all mean? And obviously, art is a huge chunk of my life. It means everything to me, but it's not the reason why I'm on earth. I don't know why any of us are on earth, or why there's such beauty in life, but there's also such pain and such suffering. And maybe I'm to see life as a school. Um, we're to learn different lessons and then move on our journey. I guess, what lessons have I learned from my brother's passing? That life is unpredictable and that life changes in a second, and that we should cherish the people in our lives. Um, but I feel like I I feel like I could have learned that by reading a book. I didn't need to go through this. So that's my feelings. I don't have. I'm not all knowing. I'm not. You know. Side note: I don't even know what I believe about God anymore. I grew up Christian. That doesn't really resonate with me anymore. Especially, I prayed. I prayed so much. I prayed so much for my brother. So, like, I don't know what the point of prayer is. Like, what's the point of prayer if what will be will be? I guess it makes us feel better at the moment. Um, but like I said, what is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of my existence? Who is God? What is God? I think that there is love in the world, and that is something that I have seen. As much as I want to feel like the unluckiest person in the world, I recognize that I have been blessed immeasurably. I have family. The fact that I had my brother for 36 years, that is a blessing. The fact that he has two children who are wonderful and a wife who is wonderful, like those are blessings. The people in my life, I can't, like as much as there is pain, I think that there is more love than there is pain. And I guess focusing on that can make me a little bit more optimistic about life, even though I know that in this life there is going to be more and more suffering because we're going to lose our loved ones one by one, and until we lose ourselves. Even our health is not there's no, well, what I will say is that what we know for sure is that as we get older, our body will change, our health will change. That's just how life goes. And I see people who've experienced such hardship, but yet they still have a smile in their face, yet you still see the joy in their eyes. And I really admire such people. And I guess I want to be like that, but that's just not who I am at the moment. I Although I try, like I know to do certain things for my health, like I work out, I stretch, I see my sister, I see my nieces, I talk to my friends, and I see my friends. And I still work on my art and practice and still pitch myself, and I'm still working on my art career. I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do. Oh, and I have therapy. I have two therapists. I'm doing all the things that I'm supposed to do in order to be okay. But still, I'm not okay, and I understand that it takes time. Um, you don't. Well, what I hear about grief is that you never get over it. You just learn to live with it. You just learn to laugh with the pain that you carry. I don't know how people do it, to be honest. I don't know how you can carry such pain again and again, like as more people, as you lose more and more people. I don't know how you can carry that pain. But I listen to Huberman a lot. I listen to his podcast as I'm falling asleep. Well, as I go to bed. And what he said is that in order to be able to not get over, but to, I guess, mitigate the effects of trauma, community is really important. And that's why I am spending time with people, even though leaving the house sometimes is a chore. I am spending time with people. Did I mention today's my birthday? Did I mention? Yeah, today is my birthday. And so I have a bunch of things planned. I am going to get a massage. I am getting my nails done. Right now they are a mess. So hopefully you don't see that. And then I'm going to see some of my friends and we're going to have supper. Today doesn't really feel joyful. It doesn't really feel, I don't feel joyful today per se, but I recognize that it is a blessing to be on earth. Is it? I think. Sometimes I feel like earth is prison, to be honest, because I know I'm going all over the place. Sometimes I feel like earth is prison because you just have to be here and you can't leave because you don't know what's on the other side. And even if there's something on the other side, it's not necessarily your place to go. I mean, hey, I actually discovered an artist who is getting euthanized. He moved to Holland because he suffers from bipolar disorder, and he decided to end his life in a peaceful way in the Netherlands because that's legal there. And I honestly really admire his would you call it bravery, his self-knowledge, and I think it's his right to make a decision that makes sense for him. A lot of the time we focus on physical suffering and we don't realize that mental suffering, like pain is pain, whether it's physical or mental. And he's been in a lot of pain since he was a kid. So he decided before he gets euthanized, he's going to have dinner with like 180 strangers. And he's documenting that journey on Instagram. And I rock with it. That's not something I'm going to do, but I just find that a lot of the time, because I was reading the comments and people who've been suffering with mental illness, they've chimed in and said that like they don't want to be on earth. And why should they be here just because their loved ones want them to? Like, how is that fair? Which is a valid question. Because when, like, my brother passed away, and that sucks, and it wasn't his choice, but regardless, I still have to make do. And, I still have to cope with that. And we all are going to lose people. So, like, maybe this is dark, I don't know, but I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I don't want any of my loved ones to make that decision, but I respect the fact that he did, that he is doing so and documenting the journey to shed light on it. I think it is common for us to question whether or not we want to be on the planet. It's just not well seen. It's just like very alarming when you voice that you have those thoughts. And I don't know, you tell me, like, do you ever kind of think about it just like in passing, not like seriously, like make plans? Because I was talking to my therapist and she was telling me that like it's normal to kind of have like passing thoughts, but if you start making plans, that's when she would need to like intervene, but which I am not making plans. It's just that sometimes I wonder, like, why am I here? Like, why am I on this planet? Because it's not fun right now. And I know that everything is temporary. Everything, even joy, pain, it's all temporary. Our time on this earth is temporary. So I am trying to focus on making happiness a habit, to cultivating habits that promote my happiness. I know that I cannot be a ball of sunshine every single moment, but trying to have moments of happiness every day that is going to help me. Like I said, I am getting a massage. I love massages. So that's going to be a moment of happiness for me today. I'm going to eat a donut. That's a moment of happiness. And I think that when I look ahead and I think about the fact that, okay, like what's the average lifespan of women in Canada? Like maybe in 70 something? I turned 37 today. So do I have like 40 plus years of missing my brother and talking to him and hoping that he hears me? Is that what's in store for me? When I think of it like that, it just seems like, damn, that's too much. However, if I focus on moments, things become more bearable. And I also think I need sunshine. I would be happier if I were in the sun. But alas, I live in Montreal for the moment. In 2014, 2015, I moved to Korea. And I had a blast there. It changed my life. And I lived there on and off for 6 years. And in 2020, I wasn't able to renew my visa because of the pandemic. And I left, and I was splitting time between Montreal and El Paso. And so El Paso is the desert, so I had lots and lots of sunshine. And I tried my best to miss the winter. Actually, I did. When I was in Montreal, like I tried to be here when it was like fall or, spring, a little bit of the summer, and then bounce when it got cold. That was that was my thing. And even though I enjoyed my time in Korea a lot, I now see and I now appreciate the fact that I wasn't able to renew my visa because it meant that I was back in North America and I was able to see my brother more frequently because he got sick around that time, around the time where I left Korea. So I think, so like sometimes we say everything happens for a reason, and I can't say everything happens for a reason, but at least I believe that that happened for a reason. I wasn't able to renew my visa so that I can be here for my brother on a more regular basis while he was going through what he was going through. And that I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful for that. And the last, what is it, like 4 or 5 years, yeah, they have been difficult. The sunshine helped. The sunshine helped, basically. And now, my brother passed in the wintertime. It's cold. And the sun isn't always shining bright. But today it is. So at least there's that. So I think it makes things even harder. I need a vacation in the sunshine. And I just want to lay down on the beach and relax. But anywho, I am here. I am working on my art. Like, I have my single coming out on Valentine's Day. I have a performance in New Mexico on Valentine's Day, going back to the desert. So I'm happy about that. And I have performances in Montreal throughout the month. So I created this alter ego, like when I first started performing. And her name is Rocky. And she is powerful, femme fatale, funny, all of those things. So it's going to be fun to embody her as I get on stage again. Having that alter ego is what, well, for one, it enhanced my creative life. I used to be super shy. I used to tremble when I would get on stage. And now I do not. Now I'm something. Like, sometimes when I look at videos of myself performing, I'm always like, oh, I can't believe that that's me. I can't believe it, but it is. That's a side of me. And going back to purpose, I think that, I guess, yeah, if life is a school or sometimes I think that life is like a game in a sense, and that we are to take things very lightly. And like, if I see things in that way, I'm like, okay, how can well, if I take things that way, I would say, I am going to see my brother again. So this is just a temporary, this is a see you later, not a goodbye. So that makes me feel better. And okay, so that said, how can I have fun on this planet? Like, what can I do that's fun for me? How can I live in a way that feels exciting and adventurous? I know that travel is part of it, seeing different parts of the world, getting exposed to different cultures, meeting different people, laughing, playing games. Maybe that's what life is about. Maybe, yeah, life is about having as much fun as you can and taking things extremely lightly. So I have pain, but it doesn't need to be heavy. It can be light. And I think what makes it lighter is when you're not carrying it alone. So even though I have a tendency to isolate, I am making an effort not to do that. And like, sometimes I have all the energy in the world, like and just like I'm excited. I'm like, okay, I am going to make this life exciting. I'm going to do things that excite me. And then other times, obviously, I'm feeling down and I want to rebel against God. I don't know if I believe in God. Like I said, I believe in love, but like I said, I grew up Christian. God is the one that I called to when I was in need. On a on an everyday basis, that's the entity that I would pray to. Like I saw God as like a sky daddy. And I don't believe in a sky daddy anymore because a parent wouldn't want you to be in pain. Like I can't imagine having a child and letting the most terrible things happen to them, like, and just watching. So I don't believe in a sky daddy. Sky daddy, my sister laughs when I say that. I don't believe in a sky daddy, but I do believe in love. And I feel, like I mentioned before, sometimes I can feel like the unluckiest person on earth, which is not the case. It's not true. It's just a feeling. And feelings aren't always true. I am very lucky. And that is what I am declaring to the universe, that I am lucky, so that more good things come my way. And the overflow will touch my family and the people I love and anyone who cross paths. And anyone I cross paths with. So how did I get to talking about that? I don't know. But back to my art. I created a burlesque act to my single Peaches. As I mentioned, I'm a burlesque performer and a jazz/pop singer. And I've performed it twice so far. And people have been quite enthusiastic about the song. So I'm looking forward to releasing it. However, I have not been promoting it as much as I should have because I am grieving, and grieving takes a lot of energy. I used to think, because like my brother had been sick for a while, so I would think that like literally if my brother died, I would die myself. Like I literally thought that my heart wouldn't be able to take it, that I would have a heart attack and just keel over. But I am still here. Although I get like stabbing pains in the chest, I am still here. And sometimes, like when what you fear happens, and obviously it knocked me to my feet, like it shook my world up. But I am still here. So what is there for me to be afraid of? Yes, more loss, but the thing is, that's inevitable. Like I know more loss is coming unless, I lose myself, So I know that is what awaits, but should I just live in fear of that? No, I don't want to be controlled by anxiety. I just want to make the best of my time here. Because I ain't trying to be reincarnated, okay? Like there's different like philosophies about what happens after you pass on. And like if you didn't learn the lessons, like some people believe that you'll come back to just keep learning. I'm going to try to learn everything I need to learn so that this is like, I don't need to do this again. I think once, to my knowledge, maybe I've had other lives before, but I think once is enough for me personally, respectfully. Although life has a lot of beauty and good things, and I ain't trying to do this again. So I'm just going to try to take care of my mind, take care of my body. I started doing a Pilates class. That's been fun. My schedule is extremely packed. There's always something for me to do, whether it's taking heels dancing classes, heels lessons, whether it's, I teach English as well twice a week. I have a 9 to 5 in marketing. I'm a performer. I'm as a burlesque performer, and I'm a singer as well. And what else? I'm a writer. there's just like I do so many things and then I see new classes and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So I just kind of fit it into my schedule. And now I'm like, I think I'm going to start a podcast. I think I like to talk. I've always liked talking. And like the next time I do this, it'll be a little bit more organized because right now it's a stream of consciousness. I've been telling myself, like, maybe all month or like for the past 3 weeks, like, okay, you need to like prepare your episodes. But honestly, after I do all the stuff that I do, like after work, I come home, do my stretching class, then I teach, and then I have to cook. After all I do the things that I need to do to be in a proper mind state, I just get into bed and I cry. and, or I just be sad or like go on YouTube and watch a bunch of videos that make me laugh. So planning this has not, I haven't really planned much. Like I wrote down some notes. I wrote down some notes, but I really haven't been looking at them. I've just been chatting. What's on my heart? What's been on my spirit? One thing about grief, I don't know, maybe you guys can relate, is that it's made me like question who I am as a person. It's made me feel like I'm worse than I thought. Like, shoot, I thought I was a decent human being. I'm worse than I thought. I think it's just the guilt that I feel like not even maybe, I know, like now in hindsight, I'm like, okay, I showed up for my brother, but I feel like I could have showed up better. I was so stressed out. I was so anxious and I was unable to be light. I was unable to be that light for him. Whereas he needed me to be, but I was too afraid. I was too afraid and too sad and too stressed out that's the energy I brought to him. I was there and I know that he appreciated me being there, but I wish I could have been better. So I think that I am of better service to the people in my life if I learn how to be, I guess, if I'm more resilient. If I'm more resilient and I guess less anxious. And I know that I'm human. And my brother's the closest person to me that has passed away. And I wasn't, it was a shock. It was a shock to my system for him to be sick. So I give myself grace for that. And I know that, like, I don't, like, people know me as someone who has a lot of confidence. And, as a kid, I did not. And I overcame a lot to get to the place that I am now, to be able to be this performer and who speaks her mind and who believes in herself. But I should not be touching myself because you can see how jacked up my nails are. But after my brother passed, I just felt like I was just not good at all. Like I was just like picking myself apart. But I know intellectually that that's not right. And I don't deserve that because I deserve love and I deserve my own love. So it's not helpful. So I kind of nipped that in the bud. But it's interesting, the journey that grief takes you to. And I know there's different stages, the denial. Like sometimes I just couldn't believe it. And sometimes it's just like, yeah, it's hard to believe. Like this morning, like my brother he used to message me at midnight for my birthday. That was his thing. He always liked being the first to wish me happy birthday. And obviously, you couldn't wish me happy birthday this year. But I was like, maybe he'll show up in my dream, And then I woke up and then I'm like, he didn't show up in my dream. So I was very sad. I was very sad. And then I'm just like, wow, my brother's gone. On earth, in the way I knew him, but I know that his energy and his spirit is still with me. because I saw like different signs like throughout the day. And I know he's with me. But like things like that, it just kind of shocks you once again. So like there's different stages, but I think I'm over the feeling like I'm a terrible human being, hopefully. I think I'm good on that because I know that it's not helpful. But I'm very grateful for all the love that I have. My brother loved me so much, and he still loves me. And that's like a huge blessing to me. I feel very, very fortunate for that. And my siblings, I have a little brother and I have a big sister, and they love me and I love them. And that's a blessing to me. I have parents, I have my aunties and my boyfriend and friends and colleagues. I have, there's a lot of love in my life. So I am grateful. And I try to focus on gratitude because that's what the experts say is the right thing to do. So I'm trying to do that. And in terms of my resilience or strength, no, not resilience, because I mean, we do need resilience to live on this planet that like punches us left and right. But in terms of strength, like my whole life, I feel like I've had to demonstrate strength. And I'm kind of, and like, it's kind of triggering to me when people tell me that I'm strong, because I'm always like, I don't want to have to be like, damn, I need a break. I want to be soft, like soft living, like hashtag soft living. Like I want that. However, that has not been my portion. And some people believe that we choose the journey that we are to like experience on this planet in the spiritual realm before we get here. Like we choose it. It's like, I like, and this is gonna happen and that, I like that. I'm gonna do all of that. And then we forget, obviously, when we're born. But damn, did I choose this? Like, did I really choose this? Because my higher self and I, we need to talk because this is not cool. I don't, or maybe it's that we choose the lessons that we want to learn and then we're born, but we don't know how exactly we're going to learn them. So choose your lessons carefully. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe the lesson that I chose to learn was that show yourself to your loved ones. Yeah, don't hide from your loved ones. Forgive. Love. And do your best. Love, do your best. Hold on to the people you love because you never know when is the last time that you're going to see them. Maybe. I'm sure there's more lessons, like not even like even apart from my brother's passing, like what else did I learn? What else have I learned in my 37 years of life? That the mind is quite powerful. My boyfriend says that heaven and hell is on earth. And my brother said that. I remember when we were younger, he said that heaven and hell were on earth. But back then I was very Christian and I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like that is not what's happening. Heaven and hell is after death. But now I believe that. I believe that heaven and hell is on earth. It's like you, like right now, like I've not in this moment, but when my brother passed, I felt like I was in hell. But, I had family around me, so that kind of pulled me out of it. But I would say like that's the worst time I've ever had in my life. Like I think about other traumatic things that's happened to me, and I would choose those things over this for sure. Like I look at pictures, like you know how your phone just pops up old pictures, or like I'm scrolling through my pictures and I'm always like, oh, my brother was alive when I took this picture. Like that's all that's all I can think about. And obviously it's been 5 weeks around since my brother passed away. I So it's still fresh. And I know my relationship with his passing will change throughout time. You know, I'm not the only one who this has happened to. I will say that, you know, everybody goes through it, but we don't normally talk about grief, and we don't normally talk about death because we are afraid of death. We are afraid of the unknown. And I know that these type of topics make people feel uncomfortable. Um, like I see, you know, I saw how some people like reacted to me, like just a weird like pity face that they would give me, and I'm just kind of like trying to act like everything's normal. But I wanted to talk about this because I know that a lot, like everybody is going to go through it or has already been through it. And I'm like, it's more bearable when things are out in the open. It shouldn't be like sickness and death. It shouldn't be hidden. But we hide those things in our society. Whereas like I know that like in West African like traditional cultures, like before colonization, I would say, like we were more so communal, and we would heal together as a community. We would dance together as a community. And yes, obviously, there are still tribes that still hold to to those traditions. But yeah, I grew up in North America. I grew up in Montreal. And so I'm very North American in certain ways. You know, I still feel very like West African sometimes, especially like when I spent like a week eating a bunch of African food that my family made for me. I'm like, I feel very African right now. But I know that isolation makes everything worse, like 100%. When like my brother passed, and then I had like a family flew in, and my boyfriend was here because my boyfriend doesn't live here. So he was here for the holidays. So when everybody was here, it was more bearable for me. And then everybody left like around the same time. I went back to work, and then like I had a flare up of like rheumatoid arthritis by the end of the week. And obviously that's triggered by stress. And I just found it interesting. I'm like, okay, so I was pretty miserable and sad when my family was around because my brother passed away, but they made it more bearable for me because they were there and I could laugh with them, and you know, they cooked for me and we played games, and there was a lot of love, so it was more bearable. And then when everybody left, like my body started freaking out. So that like shows me like once again that community is everything. And people showed up for me, showed up for our family, showed up for my brother at the funeral, like people I haven't seen in a long time, like people from elementary school, people my brother knew from high school. And like even the last day, because I spent my brother passed like Sunday, like 2 3 a.m. No, 2 a.m. and around there. But I was with him on the Saturday. Um, and two of our friends from elementary school came and spent some time with him at the hospital. And that meant so much to me. Like they brought food, they brought some juices for him. And that brought so much joy to him. So like I said, love abounds. And I pray that we remain open to it. And I pray that everybody has that, because I know that not everybody feels like they have that. And there have been times where I felt like absolutely alone. But I realize that that is an illusion. I am never alone. Like, if I am to go back to my old ways and just shut myself off, yeah, I'll feel alone. But I'm staying open, and receiving all the love that my friends and family are showing to me. And that was a segue, I feel. What was I talking about again? Let me look at my notes. Uh, so I have like some questions that I wrote down that I could answer. If I ever ran out of things to say. Let me see. How did grief impact my creativity and my ability to make music? So I am still able to make music. I've always been like music, lyrics, melodies, it all comes to me very easily. Like I just, okay, I'm writing a song, and like an idea will just come to me. So I am working on an album. Originally it was called Pink Nebula, and I've changed it to Purple Nebula because my brother's favorite color was purple, and I want to honor him with this project. And I had written 10 songs. I hadn't completed them, like not all of them. Like some of them are complete. Others I have like a verse or a chorus, and I'm gonna like complete them along the way, because I did receive a grant for this project. But I am changing things around. The themes are still kind of remaining the same, but it is that element of grief that I have to throw in, because that's where I'm at. That's basically it. My whole life is now, it's been heavily shaped by grief and sorrow. So that is going to come across in my music. Peaches is still on the album. That has nothing to do with grief. However, it is a fun song about knowing your worth and adding tax. And I love that. And I think that's important too. I think it's fun. It's like cheeky and sassy, and I think it's part of me, so that is staying on the album. It's like a country pop song. I forget how it came to me one day. I think I was in El Paso, and it just popped into my head like, you only want me for my peaches. You only want me for my wine. That's so catchy. I can't wait. I can't wait to more people listen to it. I envision it on like a TV show. I can so see that. So sync companies, holla at your girl. And yeah, I'm creating a burlesque play / concert. There is going to be a story woven throughout. So basically, so I have 10 songs, but there's a storyline, and we'll be on stage. Well, me and my musicians. I'm gonna hire some burlesque performers and actors to play in it. So yeah, it'll be a play, and it'll be like a musical with burlesque, with a live band. So I am excited to start working on that. Well, I mean, I have started working on that. I have the storyline. I have some of the songs. I have like an actor in mind that I would like to, well, actor / burlesque performer that I would like to. And definitely my brother is, there's a character that I'm writing, who is my brother, basically. There's a character who is my brother on there. And it's really interesting, like how I wrote the concept before he passed away. But as I read it again, I'm like, wow, this really, it's the loss that is in that play. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I wrote that before my brother passed away. So this is going to honor him, and I know it's going to be an emotional experience because I mean everything's an emotional experience. Even getting ready to go to work is like it's like an emotional experience. But I'm looking forward to that. Like projects excite me. Like my art excites me. So I'm glad that I have that because if I didn't have my art, I don't know. I think well, yeah, it would obviously be worse. It would obviously be worse. I'm very sweaty right now. I'm hoping it doesn't show. Okay, I'm good. Um the thing about me is that I don't feel like before when I would be like do oral presentations or when I would get on stage, I would be trembling and I would be extremely nervous. But now I don't feel those shakes anymore. However, I do sweat. Not as a burlesque performer, like not when I'm on stage performing, I don't really sweat, that's fine. But like when I'm just sitting down and I realize that people are staring at me and right now it's just a camera, that makes me sweat. So I guess that's how my body has adapted to like, okay, you're not going to shake, but you're going to sweat. um Life is about, I would say, learning more things about yourself and kind of creating who you want to be. Like I said, grief kind of revealed certain cracks in my character that I'm trying to work on at the moment. But I realized that it should all be worked on from a place of love and not a place of like self-hatred. Because what is the point? I am here. I am in this body. What's the point of hating myself? I have to be with myself as long as I'm here. So might as well love myself. It makes life more pleasant. I'm not trying to add more misery to my experience here. So that's why I'm like, okay, you felt those feelings, you've thought those thoughts, and now you can let them go and keep it moving. What I want to think about, I want to think about what makes me happy. I look at pictures of my brother, and yeah, there is some sadness because I do miss my brother. However, um, I feel love when I look at those pictures, so I will continue to do so. What makes me happy? Talking on the phone with people I care about. So I'm going to continue doing that. Good food makes me happy. Pushing myself at the gym makes me happy or adds to my joy. It's weird to say makes me happy, but or even the word happy, just because of the way I've been feeling these days. But I'll say adds light to me, to my walk. 5 more. Yeah, so that those things add light to my life. So I am going to continue doing the things that add light to my life. And I would love to hear from all of you if you've ever experienced grief, how you are navigating it, if you have any insights you would like to share, and how you're doing overall and how you feel about like what your purpose is. I don't know if I came to a conclusion about purpose. My purpose is to be. Right now is just to be on earth. That's it. And to be who I am and who we are, I think we are love. And life and trauma and things get in the way of that and can cloud our vision or put like a cloak over who we really are. But I know that we are love. That's what I feel at this moment. It might change tomorrow, but right now I feel that we are love, and sometimes we forget that. So I will definitely be back, and I will share more about the process of, yes, grieving, but also creating this play. It's the first time that I'm producing a play. I've been in a few plays, and yeah, I'm excited to get back on stage. I'm performing this Saturday. And yeah, that is bringing light to my life. I get to be Rocky, so that's always a good time. So thank you so much for listening. You can find me on Instagram at Iraq4. And yeah, on pretty much any platform at this by the same name. So thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time. Peace.